All right, today we are diving into one of the most ambitious thought experiments I think I've ever come across. We're talking about engineering the very fabric of space-time itself. Yeah, you heard that right.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. We're building a megastructure around a singularity. We're talking about a black hole here. You know, that one object in the universe with gravity so powerful, so intense, that it literally bends space-time and of course nothing, not even light, can get away.
So that brings us to the core question, right? Could we actually turn the deadliest object in the entire universe into the ultimate power source? I mean, could we tame this vortex of pure destruction and make it a source of near infinite energy for, say, a whole galactic civilization? It sounds like total science fiction, I know. But the physics behind the idea, well, it's actually surprisingly compelling.
So where would you even start with a project this colossal? Let's break down how you'd go about building the ultimate power plant, one that's not only the most powerful, but also the most dangerous thing ever conceived.
Okay, so the concept actually starts with something you might have heard of before, the Dyson Sphere. You know, that hypothetical megastructure you'd build around a star to capture all its energy. Well, take that same idea, but instead of a star, you wrap it around a black hole. The goal is exactly the same, capture energy. But as you can imagine, the sources of that energy are way more extreme.
So the first big power source is something called the accretion disk. Now, this isn't the black hole itself. Think of it as all the gas, dust, and unfortunate stars that are spiraling into their doom. As all this stuff gets pulled in, it speeds up to almost the speed of light. It gets superheated to millions of degrees, and it glows brighter than entire galaxies. This chaotic, violent swirl of plasma is just a massive font of raw energy, pretty much just sitting there waiting for us to scoop it up.
And then there's the second source. This one is way more subtle, but honestly, it's just as profound. It's called Hawking radiation. It's this theoretical trickle of particles that Stephen Hawking predicted black holes leak over, huge timescales. Basically, it's a quantum effect happening right at the edge of no return, the event horizon. It's not this big, violent explosion of energy like the accretion disk. It's more like a slow, steady, but incredibly reliable hum of power that our megastructure would be designed to capture.
So the whole energy harvesting process is basically this three-step dance right on the edge of oblivion. First, you've got to construct this massive structure in a perfectly stable orbit just outside that point of no return. Step 2, you use these enormous magnetic fields to literally siphon off that superheated plasma from the accretion disk. And at the same time, Step 3, you're also gathering that faint whisper of Hawking radiation. It's essentially a dual-system power plant, but on a scale that's hard to even wrap your head around.
But, of course, when you decide to build your power plant next to a cosmic predator, there are going to be risks. And in this case, there's one really big one, and it has a strangely descriptive name.
Look, every huge engineering project has to plan for the worst-case scenario, right? For a giant bridge, it might be hurricane-force winds. For a skyscraper, it's a massive earthquake. But for our Dyson Singularity, what's the fatal flaw? Well, the danger is gravity itself, twisted and turned against you in the most horrifying way you can possibly imagine.
And this is where the stakes become crystal clear. You've got two zones. In the safe zone, you're orbiting at just the right distance, harvesting all this incredible energy. But if you drift just a little too close, you enter the kill zone. And in there, the gravitational pull on, say, your feet becomes so much stronger than the pull on your head that you get stretched. Stretched and pulled apart, atom by atom, into a long, thin stream of matter. Yep, that's spaghettification. It is literally the universe's most brutal way to go. So the amount of precision you'd need for this thing is it's completely mind-boggling. We're talking about a line between infinite power and instant oblivion that is thinner than a razor's edge. One tiny miscalculation, a single engine failure, and the entire megastructure, and every single person on it gets pulled into that stream of atoms, becoming just another brief flicker of light in the accretion disk.
Okay, so we've got this incredible high-risk, high-reward power plant. But what if that was all just a cover story? What if this whole monumental effort, this crazy plan to engineer the event horizon, wasn't really about energy at all? What if there was a secret, much more profound purpose behind the whole thing?
I mean, think about it. You've just built the most complex machine in human history, and you've parked it right on the doorstep of the universe's greatest mystery. Are you really just there to keep the lights on back home? Or are you trying to open a door?
And that's the big twist. The whole thing, it's not just a power source. It's a gateway. The energy harvesting, the entire megastructure, that's all secondary. The real prize is the black hole itself.
So the true mission was never about power. It was about exploration. The theory is that the black hole isn't a dead end, it's a stable doorway to another universe, another reality. So that Dyson structure? It's not a power plant, it's a launch pad. It's a dock. It's the starting point for the greatest journey humanity could ever take, not just into space, but between realities. And all that energy it's collecting, that's just the fuel you need to turn the key, open that door, and step through.
So imagine, we've done it. We've mastered the engineering, we've navigated that razor's edge of oblivion, and we've built our launch pad to a whole new existence. It leaves us with just one final, massive, unanswered question. The kind of question that drives every great explorer. If a black hole really is a gateway, where on Earth does it lead?